Thanks so much. My name is HEX Crypto. We're going to be checking out who the heck is selling HEX and what is going on. Is the explosion happening? Did the explosion already happen? Goodness gracious, HEX is going wild, folks. Now, of course, there's always some news happening. There's always everything that can kind of try to make some sense out of everything, what's going on and what's overall taking place. But today I wanted to look into the actual sellers of HEX, possibly even compare if they sacrifice for Pulse Chain, and and just kind of see what their overall beliefs are. Are these folks that are just new to the HEX community? Are these folks who have not experienced HEX before in the past? Is it something that, again, like, everyone's just truly scared at this point in time? Because if you're selling at these prices, I am just mind boggled, right? Like, unless you're taking huge profits, which even from all-time lows, that's really only like a 50x or 100x or something like that. I think it's 500x in all reality if we look at from all-time low, and you can see that information on hexdailystats.com. So let's go ahead and kick it on over there real quick. I appreciate everyone tuning in. We're going to be checking out some HEX FUD. We're going to be checking out who's selling HEX. We're going to be looking into a whole bunch of stuff on HEX as well today. So tune in, everyone. Strap in. I appreciate everyone being here. Leave a comment down below if you are new to the channel. If you're from the channel and you're just checking it out and you love commenting, I appreciate all the comments that do come through. I do read them here daily on a live stream, and it is a fun item for me. I get to see some engagement. And of course, if you're feeling nice, you could even subscribe, like the channel. So we have the HEX daily stats happening right meow. And let me pull that up over here. Here we go. All right. So, to everyone tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, my name is HEX Crypto. Today we're diving into who the fuck is selling HEX and what is really happening. Is this HEX explosion really going on? Are we doomed to see more future lower prices than previously anticipated? And how you can prepare in these moments as well. That's what we're going to be discussing in today's stream. So again, starting off with the daily stats of HEX. Today is 1,123 of HEX working flawlessly. We had the previous close of HEX sitting at 1.9 cents, with the daily payout per T-share sitting at 6.377. Now again, this is ratcheting up every single day. The T-share rate has once again gone back up to 25,378. So make sure you are getting your T-shares if it's something that you're wanting to make sure to protect your future. Now is a great opportunity in this moment in time for these prices. Even through all this market, even through everything happening, we actually still have more holders coming into the community. We have more stakers coming into the community. This number is constantly growing. We have 116,723 stakers. We have 54 new stakers that just came in. We have overall 315,000 holders in HEX, an increase of 225 Guys, people are scooping up these prices here. So what that means, it means there's a transfer of wealth happening right in front of us, okay? This transfer of wealth happening right in front of us is literally right in front of our eyes. We know that there's clearly sellers in the market. That's how the price is going down. But the way it works is that it's also being bought up and it's distributing the wealth amongst many new folks who are in the community. So to everyone new to Hex, welcome to the community. I absolutely love seeing everyone join. I love seeing this number grow. And guys, this is going to be an amazing time. We got Tortoise Johnny in the house saying, better mint yourself some Zen today. Oof, I would stay away from Zen, for shits and giggles real quick. I'll show you something and that'll make you hopefully understand why I would stay away from it. Where was it? Right here on this chart. And if I go look at, I didn't even save it. That's how bad it was. Zen USD, Zen USD. See? Yeah, it wasn't pretty, folks. It was not pretty. Not pretty. And so just for shits and gigs, real fast, Tortoise Johnny, so you can see what's going on with that. This is a Zen chart from launch. And while it looks like there's some green happening and you might be able to get some gains, it's down 99.96%. And if you have it a perpetual infinite mint cycle that can just always happen, it's something that, again, I would personally stay away from it. I think you're gonna waste more in paying for the gas fees to mint that Zen than you would actually be able to get in returns. Now, I could be way wrong in this scenario, folks. I could be so wrong, it's just absolutely hilarious. But you can look at how fast these numbers are moving, guys. A $5,000 buy made it, go up just a smidge, right? And so, like, that's one of those. And if we dive into the wallets, which I'm going to be doing with Hex, then that's kind of one of those things that I would personally most likely just kind of stay away from, Tortoise Johnny. Facts, bro. Benny Blanco says transfer of wealth is the way that's happening right now. We have folks who are new to the community. We have folks who are selling their Hex because of the new shiny object, whether it be one of the Pulse Doge Bitcoin ASIC boys, or whether it be people switching completely into Hedron, or whether it be people getting into Zen. Whatever the case may be, people are losing their focus. This bear market has been brutal, folks. It has been a long time already, right? We've had the launch of Pulse delayed again and again and again. And now people are at the point in time where they just want to see something. Boredom is cause for a whole bunch of confusion and a whole bunch of errors that could happen as well. So I'm personally just being cautious around this time. We got Summer Darling in the house saying, hey. What's up, Summer Darling? Appreciate you tuning in. Jams, what's up, all? Appreciate you tuning in as well. Again, folks, today we're going to be checking out what is happening, right? We got plenty of stuff going on. I want to check out possibly the sellers of Hex. I want to see this FUD happening. So for those of y'all who haven't seen this article just recently hit on the 27th. Academatiated saying hello all. Appreciate everyone tuning in to this stream. Everyone commenting on this stream. Y'all are all greatly appreciated. It means a lot that y'all are here with me. And we're just tuning in, learning together, folks. We've talked about this before, but the bear market is a time for you to possibly learn, right? Like, I've learned a lot. I've had my perspectives been able to change. I've been able to implement new things that I wasn't doing before to take advantage of these moments in time. I now have a different strategy going forward because this was my first bear market in crypto. So what can I do to ensure my bear market future is better? You know what I mean? Like, I want to make sure that, because guys, the bear market doesn't just come once and that's it. It's clearly a cyclical thing and it's gonna be coming back. So for those of y'all who want to make sure you are taking advantage of it, thank you so much. Summer Darling, thank you again. You have a great voice. Hopefully that didn't sound odd. You definitely have a radio voice. No, I appreciate that. I was doing sales for a very long time. I was in finance for a very long time. And every single time someone mentioned to me about the voice, it was something that when you hear yourself in the future, or when you hear yourself on replays, it sounds odd to hear yourself, but thank you again to that message. That really does. I've heard it before, but it never gets old because it is always appreciated to hear someone else appreciate the sound of my voice, because I know when I hear it, woo-wee, it gets, it's a weird sound. All right, so we have the US SEC may take steep measures against HEX. So this is the most recent FUD happening in our community. I don't know if y'all have read this. I don't know if y'all have seen this, but boy, do I think that it had a freaking impact on the sell price of HEX. And we're going to be checking this out. The US SEC could reportedly take steep measures on HEX, Pulse Chain, and Pulse X's initial coin offering. HEX founder accused of fraud. Per reports from individuals with the knowledge of the matter, the SEC wants to look into the origin of HEX and subsequent develops in Pulse Chain and Pulse X. It is amid rumors that Richard Hart, the founder, received a whopping $1 billion from users in 2021. I'm sorry, I'll read this. I'll try to be as easy as I can. I find this shit to be hilarious because that's the way I see this kind of article, and hopefully y'all can see the same way. Maybe I'm scaring you, and that's a good thing. Get out of the market. If you can't handle this little nonsense, then you don't really have a long-term vision. I know my stakes are out there up to 15 years, so regardless of how I feel about this particular FUD happening in the moment, I mean, shit, my shit's gone for 15 years and all the way in between, and I'm filled in all those on multiple wallets, you know what I mean? So, per reports from individuals with the knowledge of the matter, whoops, I already read that. In September 2018, HEX launched its live presale. Sammy Kwok disclosed it had an agreement that had been reached on the Hong Kong crypto fund for the latter to acquire all unsold tokens on the final day of presale. As a result, HEX would probably get the hard cap of 100,000 ETH before the crowd sale began. Crowdfund staff stated that the collaboration was due to HEX's technology, reverse ICO advantage, and high capability of socialization utilizing the Aston platform. Oh goodness, of course she would ask. Yes. Do you want me to keep them outside? The wife's coming home with lunch, and so she's asking that I go at least let the pups out. Give me 1 second. Let me just kind of read this message. And I appreciate everyone tuning in. Holy shit. I love it. I love it. You love it. We love it. Nope. House should be fine. Love you. Cool. Right before we get home, though. Otherwise, Delta will come busting in. We keep them outside. Nope. House should be fine. All right. Give me 1 sec. Oh. And I'm back, baby. All right. So, yeah, I know. I'm saying the same thing, Hexodl. Like, oh my goodness. Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, I appreciate all this. Real quick, let me just kind of, because this is, I'm gonna get to the chat, of course, real fast. Let me read through this little article because it's fucking hilarious. Because there was, anyways. After all the activities during HEX's launch, investors couldn't find answers and clarity on how the network operates. Some analysts questioned how the token is distributed, since Richard Hart allegedly kept 50 or 45% of the whole supply in the Genesis wallet at the time. Hart tried to plead his case, saying investors have a culture of dubbing coins as a scam. However, it doesn't necessarily mean his coin falls under this said category. In November, the SEC issued a subpoena on influencers who promoted HEX, Pulse Chain, and Pulse X. Supporters of HEX initially denounced the subpoena as phony on social media. However, as rumors surrounding HEX's management swirled, most began ducking as commands for document destruction began to circulate the HEX-related Discord and Telegram channels. Richard Hart's lavish lifestyle. Like, I can't read this article like with like fucking without laughing my ass off, because this shit is just absolutely fucking stupid. but we're gonna try. I'm gonna try to read this last little bit. Richard Hart's lavish lifestyle. Richard has consistently been modest in his foppish and modest lifestyle, thanks to the finances he made from his schemes. There have always been questionable transfers connected with Hex from the beginning. According to the Twitter page, he possesses the world's giant diamond, fastest Ferrari, and priciest Rolex. Hi, baby. Love you. Hex directly targeted investors globally, placing advertisements announcing an 11,500 price increase in 4 months in football stadiums, especially those involved in the English Premier League. Like, okay. All right, so let's talk about this shit for a second. One, there was no fucking pre-sale for Hex. You either had Bitcoin, and if you had it, you could claim it through the adoption amplifier, or you fucking bought Hex. There was no pre-sale of Hex, so we could just dismiss that whole thing real quick. Now, we already know the dude's been fucking mining Bitcoin since 50 blocks of Bitcoin back in 2009. He said he's bought Bitcoin when it was $30, wrote it down to 2, kept buying, and then rolled it back up. So even if, guys, do the math on that. Bitcoin price right now is like 16,000. So even if he didn't do anything else and just fucking had a few Bitcoin, like, the dude's easily multi-billionaire status, guys. Come on. So let's do some fun math here. Let's just say he had 1,000 Bitcoin, okay? And that's being very, very, very nice about it, I have to say. Times 16,000, that is 16 million? $16 million just for 1,000 Bitcoin. And I believe he has far more Bitcoin than that, folks. I think he was mining Bitcoin. I think he was holding it for a long time. The dude was already retired multi-millionaire by the time he was even getting into Bitcoin. And then he found out about Ethereum, and guess what? He jumped in on that bandwagon too. Like, the dude has made it, but now that he has a crypto and he shows off his own money that he spent, that he's worked all this time to do, people are trying to come at him saying, oh my gosh, they're spending the actual money that people gave up and sacrificed and everything. Yet the OA address has never sold one fucking Hex. It's moved it to the Pulse Chain and PulseX sacrifice, but that's it. That's it. It's never sold. And then you also have the amount of money in the sacrifices that were simply fucking swapped because they were shitty coins into stable coins. Imagine if he didn't swap all those coins when Pulse Chain and PulseX happened and the sacrifice happened. Imagine if he didn't have that and they just sat there. It would be worth nothing. It would be worth nothing. So he was so smart to do these swaps and actually hold it. But people don't understand, and they're going to spread the news and they're going to spread the FUD. So guys, like, if you're letting yourself be fooled by this mentality, by this opinion, oh my goodness, guys, like, please, please, please wake the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, make sure y'all are being knowledgeable in this world. Like, there's a whole different perspective to all of this that we should be learning, that we should be figuring out. And that's what I'm here to kind of show and figure out together with everybody, okay? So let's see this. We got Jam saying, in your opinion, is this bear market different than the one in 2008, since now the macroeconomics all over is weak? James, to answer that question, yeah, I mean, for sure. To say that there's no difference, as long as crypto's been around, there's never been a macroeconomic bear market, if you will, or recession. Here, hold up. It was meant to be really easy to catch, and he's favoring his right shoulder again. Oh no. No more fetchies. Yeah, so yeah, to answer that question, yes, it has to, you have to view it as different. But what I can say for sure is that you know, you look back, and the longest bear market Bitcoin had ever had was, I believe, in 2014. And it had done a 14-month bear market, and then it started going back up again, right? And so, like, everything that's happening has always just been a small little point in time where you can point to it and say, oh, look at this. But if you look back, in all reality, a year to a year and a half isn't that long. And in fact, it comes like this. It just blinks. It's very quick to happen. So I think it should be viewed as somewhat differently, but I find that people, like everyone who's wanting to sell their crypto, get out of their crypto, all the pain and everything that's kind of happened. Yes, there's still some more pain to come, by the way, but I do find that the overall macro environment should not have the big effect that everyone will believe, especially when it comes to our particular crypto, which is HEX. But however, I mean, shit, we clearly know that not to be the case. Okay, in terms of how long we will be in it, that is. Yeah, so, I mean, going back over here and pulling up Bitcoin, BTC, USDC. So if I just pull up these charts right here, yeah, we're about to hit that death cross for Bitcoin. I'll tell you that much right now. For those of y'all who haven't seen that, that thing is coming, and it's coming fast. It looks like yeah, it looks like we're probably looking to push that death cross by the beginning of the new year. So just FYI, if y'all are, you know, looking to get invested in Bitcoin or whatever the case may be. So let's take a look real fast over here with Bitcoin, and this goes back to, does this only go back to 2019? Of course it does, because I didn't pull up the right chart. Well, I don't really want to talk so much about Bitcoin, but what I will say is Bitcoin was in it for 14 months at one point in time. That was the longest. And so if we just look at 14 months from the 69K range, that was November of 2021 when we hit the 69K range for Bitcoin. And so if you just do 14 months from there, we're probably looking about January to February before we start doing a slight little pivot toward the upside is the idea. However, I think that people still need to get shaken out because we're still on this downward trajectory even with Bitcoin as well, folks. And it's not looking any better for them, right? As long as we're below this whole the whole trend line, even the 9 EMA and the 15 EMA, those are simple moving averages that I was looking at on this one actually. They aren't looking pretty, you know what I mean? And if I just look at this, I think that there's still some more downside. I said we were going to bounce between this 18K to 12K. And as long as it kind of stays below this trend line right here, it'll probably end up getting all the way to the trend line, maybe go a little bit lower, and then we may see a little fall, right? And that's look at this, guys. That's April and March. So unless there's something big happening, we could be looking for a longer bear market, unfortunately, until we break out of this trend. Now, I'm not a TA expert by any means, and I don't consider myself to be a TA expert. I look at what's in front of me, and I share with what I see, right? HEX has to be declared not a security by the SEC, as it isn't. For sure, yeah, once everything's all said and done, I can't wait for that to be done, because then you have all these people like Mike Alfred and all these other folks who have been like, you know, preaching that HEX has been a scam, and now everyone's getting found out, and that Richard Hart's been a fraud, and he's been taking people's money, and then they're gonna look into all this and realize none of that shit's true. Everyone talks about HEX because they want to talk about HEX, and it's not like they were paid to do it by anybody. Every promotion that's ever happened for advertisement has been paid for by the community and not by Richard Hart at all. So it's like every single bit that they have on whatever they can get to is gonna fucking fall on their face. But they can still spread FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And if you don't think that we're experiencing some FUD right now, then I beg you to take a look at the chart, because people will definitely disagree. You know what I mean? And so what I wanted to do today was actually look into who is selling, like what is happening, what's going on, right? And this is the actual HEX chart here. This is doing the same little 9 and 15 EMA cross. But this is on a weekly view at this point in time. So I actually don't want to go to that chart just yet. Give me 1 second. I got one more chart I want to look at with you, and then we can get into the chart that I actually had pulled up right now, because it has a lot of information on there that we're going to be diving into. So yeah, Hex HODL, once it's declared not an SEC or not a security, oh guys, people can just go fuck right off at that point in time, right? And then like that's as simple as it is. One can't just call something a security if it fails the Howey test. It is not one. Facts. And they have to abide by those rules. They can't switch the rules up because of their dislike of a person. And we already know Richard Hart, unfortunately, is probably disliked by a lot. It's okay, buddy. No. Love you. All right, so take a look at this chart. This is the HEX USD chart using TradingView. Now, I had drawn this out. I've actually had this drawn out for quite a bit. This little rectangle here that I thought we were going to get into. Let me hide the, I don't really care about the RSI at this moment. So I thought we were seriously going to get into this little range. And guess what, folks? We have now entered the range that I thought we would hit. We're in the 1.9 to 1.4 cent region. Oh, hold up. I'm coming! Oh shit. That was fucking wild. The dogs, oh my goodness. Dogs got into a little attack with each other and they weren't breaking it up. Luckily no one's injured, but fucking A. I ran all the way from the office all the way out. So, to everyone who's still here, thank you for your patience. He's up in the room. Woo. All right. See if we can calm back down real fast. All right. This bear market, I learned how to max out my credit card to buy more HEX Academiciate, it says. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Hey, if you look back, like, 5 years from now, that shit won't be a bad thing necessarily per se, but that's funny. Oh my goodness. September 2018, live pre-sale. Is this guy on drugs? Yeah, that's what I was laughing at as well whenever I was reading that article. Hex and Pulse Trump coin should boom together. Yeah, don't know. I mean, everything that's tied to Hex is supposed to be, tied together. Oh, you're a great husband. Stopping your stream for her. Yeah, that was wild. But always have to, make sure that I'm reading the messages, make sure that your personal life always comes first, folks. Like I love every single one of y'all who get to tune in here on this stream, who get to have fun, who are tuning in, chatting with each other, checking out what I'm doing, checking out these charts, learning with me. But yeah, you definitely focus on the present. That's something we definitely have a big future focus for sure, especially as Hexicans, because we typically have long-term vision. Hex by itself is not a network. It's operating on Ethereum network. Yeah, Hexodl for sure. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Summer Darlin says, modest, so repetitive. That guy needs to catch up on some English and do some research before writing. The SAC tokens that were not Hex were dumped into stables like DAI, which is still sitting in there. Facts. This article gave me a migraine. At least do 10 minutes of research. It's all on chain, so it should be easy work for the author. Yeah, I mean, again, like this is... But it only takes these little moments in time where someone can just throw it out there, because again, like there's no one who's even checking it, folks. That's the way I see it. Like there's no one who's even looking at these articles. They're just like, yep, that's the way it is. Send it. You're like, hey, look at all this. I found out Hex is definitely a scam. Let me just post it. And then they're like, okay. And then they just fucking post the article without doing a lick of research and even in understanding what it is. I think for a lot of folks, one thing I had said that I'd hoped for in the beginning when Richard Hart would stream with other people is that he would just ask them, can you explain to me what a T-share is? That simple question. If they can't explain what a T-share is, then they have no qualifications to discuss Hex any further. And I think that was as simple as it could be, because... Hi, Journey. Hi, puppy. This was a puppy who just got attacked. It was unnecessary. That was completely unnecessary. All right. Yeah, so like I think that was something that I would always want for him to do. I would always want him to ask, like, can you explain to me what a T-share is? And folks, if they can't explain what a T-share is, then they have no right to be saying anything further about Hex, because they did no research. That is a very basic principle of Hex, is staking. And when you stake, you're giving shares. And with those shares, you earn your interest in Hex, or you earn your daily yield and your trustless yield in Hex. And then whenever your stake is done, you burn those shares and you mint your Hex back into existence. Like, if you can't explain the basic of Hex, the fucking basic of Hex, you don't get to qualify to even discuss anything further about it. And I always wanted him to just ask that question when he would be interviewing folks who would be screaming at him all the time, scam this, scam that, you're a scammer, you're this, you're that. I just, like, Hex is stupid, Hex is gonna fail, Hex is a punk, like, everything they could possibly say. I just wanted them to say, can you explain to me what Hex T-shirt is? If you can, that's great. We can talk further. You've at least taken the time to learn the basics of what Hex is. It's not just a ERC20 token. It's more than that. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, goodness. To everyone tuning in, thank you again. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, fellow Hexicans, Pulsexicans, and Pulsicans all around the world. We got Hexodl saying, I bet the Luna, UST, Celsius, and others did not regret sacrificing and wish they had sacked it all. Yeah, there were several folks in that area who sacrificed and were probably hoping for, TA is not Hexpert, TA is astrology for betas. D01 dumped a decent amount. Is that like an address that we should be aware of, Hexodl? Is that one of those whale addresses? We got Crypto Gains Club in the house. What's up? Doggy. Yo. Ah, ooh. Ooh, ah. Oh my God. He went to buy the dip. Oh shit, guys! I woke up last night. Whenever I saw the price dip to like, it was like 0.17 or something like that, and I was like, "Do I go in more right now?" Because I got my limit orders already in place, and so it's like, do I just go and do some right now and do a market buy? And I was like, I gotta stay true to my limit orders. Just stay true to my limit orders. And so that's what I did. I scooped up some more that way for sure though. No problem as long as you're okay. Speedy Gonzalez is back. Glad everything is okay. Glad the puppy is okay. D01, yeah, famous Hex dumped for 2 years. Well, goodness, I really wish D01 would just get the heck out of here then, huh? That's the Etherscan address. Well, let's see if it matches up with what we're talking about here. Let me pull up the live stream so I can actually type that in. Hi, Journey. It's okay. What are you doing, puppy? Oh my goodness, you're so excited. He's just so excited, running around like a little dude. All right, let me pull up that address that you had just sent over in the live stream here, just so that way everyone can see what we're talking about. And yeah, D01 it looks like is the address right there to D01. They had it's the famous.io. Gotcha. ERC20 token transactions. So they were staked. They minted the stake and then sold the stake immediately. Let me see where they sent it to. Yeah, it looks like they sent it over to. Interesting. It doesn't pull up that information on it. These are all the same. It looks like this is another wallet that they're holding. A51, A51, A51. Yeah, so it looks like they're basically sending everything from this wallet to that wallet. Looks like they're messing with everything and anything they can, though. But they definitely get rid of the transactions and tokens quickly. It looks like they forgot to mint their Hedron. Fuckers. No, I'm just kidding. I did the same thing. So for those of y'all who don't know, before you end your stake, mint your Hedron. I know I messed that up, and it's just one of those things I have to live with, and it is what it is. But yeah, it looks like they've had 4 million hacks, and they send it over here to this address, 4DC. Yeah, and they're using this one to off ramp. It looks like so. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that's interesting on it. So what are you saying on this one real quick while I pull up the stream again? D01 dumped. Look at it. Plug it into the sites to see more data like stakehex.today. Yeah, I did some market buys just to be in the game. Facts. Crypto Gains Club. Like, if you do market buys at these prices, you're not necessarily doing it wrong. You know what I mean? That's just one of those, like, you didn't necessarily think it could get this low. You didn't have limit orders set up. I've just learned, yeah, of course, D01 has other wallets as well. Yeah, I just learned that I needed to start trying to take advantage of limit orders, you know what I mean? And that way I wouldn't have to, because I literally woke up, it was like fucking 3 in the morning, and I saw the price at like 0.172 or something like that. And I was like, oh shit, this is a great opportunity. Because guys, you got to understand, I didn't get in. I got in after Hex was already a penny. You know what I mean? I'm not an OG, as they say. I'm not the guy who was around day one. I was the guy who found out about it, and then I absolutely love it and went all in on it. You know what I mean? So whenever I see the prices at these 2-cent range, 3-cent range, these are opportunities that are freaking amazing. And then I see it at the penny range, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want more. I want fucking more. But to talk about the penny range real fast, and I was sharing this for a second, but to talk about the penny range, I had said that we are going to be floating in this 0.19 to 0.14 range, and that's because we have pretty much the most support around that area. So that's why I kind of drew it up. Now, unfortunately, before that, it looks like I could draw another little rectangle, might as well, because I think we aren't done, unfortunately. And it stinks to say, but it's good to say as well. And this is why it's good to know. So if I pull this up and move this over, let me see. So that would be touching the downside, which would be right about, I'll even say here. So it looks like we're going to be pushing toward the penny next if we break out of the 1.4 range, right? And so like as long as this trajectory keeps on going, I'm going to go down just a little bit lower. As long as this trajectory keeps going for this downward slope right here, then it's going to be looking like we're going to be pushing towards the penny range if we can't break out. So we've already had the downside where it broke through, and then we see these little relief rallies as well. We see it kind of rally up and then it goes down, and rally up and then it goes down. So I'm expecting we may see a similar item here where it's going to rally up, and unless we really have some more news of actually something happening, we're probably going to end up going down again. And so that's why I'm making sure to set up limit orders in these ranges to capture these moments, because I had some at 2.2, I scooped some up. I had some at 0.19, I scooped some up. I had some at 0.17, scooped some up. You know what I mean? So next one that I have is 0.13, right? And so I'm thinking we're probably going to end up falling here in this range if it gets that low, and I'll probably end up setting some limit orders here below this little penny range, you know what I mean? Just in case. Because you never know what could happen. You never freaking know what can happen. And so if I'm just trying to hedge a bet and saying there's a chance of me being able to scoop up some more HEX for cheaper than I actually initially got it for when I first got in, I'm probably going to go that route. You know what I mean? Because it makes sense for me in that regard. So let's pull up the wallet that you're talking about on this website for D01 just to see what we're looking at for this wallet. All right, so it looks like they still have 9 open stakes, and I'll pull it up right here so that way everyone can see on my stream and what's happening with it as well. So this is D01. Again, I just copied it from the Etherscan website. It looks like they still have 9 open stakes with an average of 7.3 years. They still have 30 million HEX staked, and so far they've definitely earned 33 million yield to date at this moment in time. So they've had a good return on their investment, and it looks like they just continue to sell down the price, right? The current HEX stake value is sitting at 1.1 million. The overall staking cost sitting at 2.9. What is up, Universe the God Life? What is up, yo? What's happening? All right, cool. It looks like they are negative on some of their stakes, but that's just because it's in US dollar term. They actually have an average T-share amount. Goodness, they have 5,400 T-shares. That is wild, folks. Wild. But that means they've been in this game for a bit. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks to say, but they're definitely a dabbing dolphin. You know what I mean? They've been in this game for a hot minute. They've had 39 stakes in, and they still have 9 that are open. And so if we just look at their open stakes right now, if we just see these down below, it looks like the next sell pressure that they're going to be putting on is going to be at the times these stake ends. They have one that already expired, and so they're probably going to be ending this one soon is my guess, because it was, oh, never mind, that's December of 2023. That's next year. So they're going to have one happening here in February. Hi, Brooke. Oh, my goodness. Are you bringing me lunch? Oh, my goodness, sweetie. Hi. Thank you. Can I get a hug? Ah. Thank you, Brookers. All right. Fun little lunch just got brought. Good old lunch, guys. You got to make sure to eat. I'll eat that here in a little bit. Hi, buddy. All right. So to look at these stakes right here, they have one that's going to be ending in February of 2023. So what can we assume is going to happen in February of 2023? Well, I assume they're probably just going to sell their fucking HEX. It's what they've been doing. It's what they've done time and time again. And it looks like they'll continue to do it every single time because they already have stakes going out further into the future. And so they're no longer hedging themselves against it because they've now had so many stakes they're willing to collect their profit and move on. and not even worry about restaking it per se, because I'm assuming that's not what they're doing. It doesn't look like they're ending them and restaking them. Maybe they were at one point in time, but unfortunately, like, it's just not going to be there at this moment in time. So yeah, they're gonna lose 100 T-shares come February. And it looks like they still have plenty of other T-shares if you look down below. I mean, they have 2,800 T-shares that's going all the way out to 2028. So they're in this game for a bit. They have their longer T-shares further toward the end, and so they're okay with collecting the profits now. And that's kind of also how I recommend a lot of my friends and folks will do it as well, is go long first and then fill it in backwards. And it seems like that's similar to what they did. So they have some ending 2023, they have more ending 2025, 2028, 2030, and 2037. So they didn't really do anything between the 11, 12, 13, and 14 year mark. They just went 10 years up to 15 years. And they only did that for 2 of them. And they did that for about the same amount on each one. Okay. So that's kind of what we're looking at. It looks like they are going to be in this game for a bit. They will continue to dump. It's something that they've done time and time again. You can see the price that they staked it at initially was 0.004 hex, or 0.004 cents. So, you know, 4/10 of a penny. That's pretty freaking solid. Yeah, definitely. Let's get up to 20 likes, folks. Let's get this video up to 20 likes. In fact, let's get it up to 30 likes, right? And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me and yourself a favor and click on subscribe. I do a daily stream every single day talking about HEX, looking into what these folks are doing and what they're up to. Because I find this to be pretty fascinating to see. This is how I learn, right? This is my method of learning. I want to see what these dolphins, sharks, and whales are doing. Like, if they're collecting profits, is that something that I'm going to be able to implement myself in the future? Do I want to go that same route? Do I see them getting burned? That's what I'm doing here by checking out these streams, okay? So yeah, did some market buys, facts. Chad says, do you think $3 HEX in the next bull run? That is a great question, Chad. In fact, I do think that there's a possibility that we'll see $3 HEX in the next bull run. And that comes from a simple 100x perspective, okay? So I'm saying this because in the sense of a bull market, we can see a rally go very quickly. And then at this moment in time, there's a lot of folks who are waiting and holding cash and just waiting until the launch of Pulse Chain, which I don't like that HEX is now so correlated to the launch of Pulse Chain. However, it is what it is, and I just have to open my eyes and see it for what it is, which right now, it looks like it's very correlated to the launch of Pulse Chain. So, I think we could do it. Richard Hart has said it himself in his streams that, you know, 100x in the next bull run isn't out of the question. And so if I see it that way, 100x from 3 cents and 3 pennies is $3. If I see it from where it currently is sitting at right now at 1.19, you know, for the current price, 1.8 cents is what we're sitting at right now. That would be 100x would put us at $1.80. So let's just do it from there, right? Let's just say it's going to fall anywhere between $1.50 to $3 HEX in the next bull run. Now, again, I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice, but if you're able to last through this FUD, if you're able to last through the bear market, which is hopefully why you're staked in the first place, so that way we can get through these moments in time, that's a good thing. You're going to look back at these moments and be like, I was in a HEX when it was a penny. And that was like max fear, guys. Like, for whatever reason, that's like this max panic that we're reaching could also mean we're getting close to the freaking bottom of the bear market, right? So that's like 100x from today's price, right? Not impossible, but I would be more than happy with the 50x. Yeah, and if you got in, so look, do the math real fast on this, guys. Like right now, the price of HEX is below 2 pennies. If you get in and it goes back up to 4 cents, you've doubled your money. Like, what? That's going to be an insane quick gain of doubling your money. Heck, what if it gets back up to 10 cents? You have 5x your money, okay? Now, you have to look at those as opportunities of momentum of buying. Like, yes, you may buy today, and yes, the price may go lower, right? That is always a possibility. We're in a speculative asset, right? There's always something going on, whether it's fear, uncertainty, or doubt. Whether there's people who are riding your shoulders saying, I knew it was a scam, I told you, you shouldn't be doing it. You got the devil whispering in your ear, and then you got the angel saying, like, you got this, man, you got this, on the other shoulder, saying, like, you know, there was a reason why you bought into it in the first place. It's not another crypto coin. It's not just like a Dogecoin or a Shiba coin where you get a hype cycle going, and that's going to be the wave you have to catch. And then hopefully you have a chance to sell it on the top. But a lot of folks, guess what, didn't learn that. That was something that a lot of folks who are now holding Dogecoin are now sitting in this 7-cent region again, 3-cent region, whatever the heck the price is. And it's probably just going to remain there for quite a while until possibly Elon announces something else with Dogecoin, and then you get a small little rally up, right? So, like, this is actually a crypto coin. It's a product, right? You know what I mean? It has a purpose behind it. You earn trustless yield every day if you are staked. So if you get into this coin and you have the ability to 2x or 5x your money, that's a good return on anyone's standard. Let alone we start getting into 10x region, 50x region, and 100x region. To go back to that question, like, yeah, like, you're going to be happy with the 50x, Jam says, for sure, right? You're definitely going to be happy. You got Hex Huddle saying DCA, by any amount of money of something at a high, it dumps 95%. By the same amount of money, now your average is just 50% down, and a 2x gets you back to even. Yeah, that's facts. That's math. And for those folks who don't understand, like, math is not necessarily like the strongest suit, which is why I think for a lot of folks who do understand Hex, they're more to the math side of things. They're more open to logic instead of just pure hopium. Now, there were plenty of folks who joined the Hex community through the launch of Pulse Chain, Pulse X, and unfortunately, with them being in the game now, there's nothing that we can do with them. You know what I mean? So they're in this game with us, right? We got the plebs in here. That was the thing that Hex didn't really have before, was the plebs. And now that we have the plebs, it's one of those that, like, now we know, now we're gonna have to learn how to deal with it. It's another reason why I think Pulse Chain's probably not going to be doing a 10,000x. Not going to say it's not happening, but I'm just saying it's more or less likely because there's more folks who are involved, and always the more sell pressure, the more buy pressure you have to have on the other side to make it go up. Not everyone's waiting for a 10,000x. People are going to be perfectly content with the fucking 10x or 50x or 100x or 1,000x. They're going to be perfectly content in those moments. Folks, I was checking this website out. This is a cool website called deckscreener.com. And it lets you see all the information of when people are buying, when people are selling, how much they sold, what they got in return for the US dollar equivalent, or what the price was at that time, I guess. It's not that they necessarily swapped it, but they did sell and they got rid of their hex, right? And so in these moments in time, I was wanting to just try to see if we can figure out what is actually happening. You know what I mean? Like, who's doing the math, or who's doing the max sell pressure? So what I did was I said, let's do it to where it's 100,000, and then I want to have a max of 10 million. I don't think anyone's selling 10 million coins, just because that's just not that's just not happening. But you can see the bigger wallets, or these bigger sales, are happening here. So they did 224,000 that they sold, and it was only 4,000 USD. So I was like, let's just check out these wallets, because guess what? It shows their wallet right here. It shows the last little bit. And when you click it, it pops up the whole Ether scan. And then I can just dive in and start figuring out what these folks are doing. MEV bot, I'm not sure what that is. Okay, so this is a transaction that doesn't really seem to be doing too much, but it looks like they did just recently sell Hex. Wonder what MEV bot is. I haven't heard of them before, haven't seen that necessarily, and I'm sure it's something I may have heard of in the past. Sorry, I thought Brooker was coming back in here again. Cool. Let's just see if they're staked, right? And so I can pull this up, and then I can look to see if they are even staked in the first place. Like, Are people who are selling HEX right now even staked? And in this case, no, right? And so like, let me just make sure. We got two different websites that we use. We got stakehex.today and we got hexfire.io. And I just kind of take a peek to make sure they kind of cross-reference each other for sure. But it does usually let me know if they've ever staked as well on stakehex.today. So looking at those two, they did not. All right, and so let's just kind of move this over. Let me move this all together. Don't need that. Don't need that. And don't need that. I'm closing out some pages real fast, folks, just to make it easier for my eyes to see. Already went over that one. Yep, close that. Move this one over here. Cool. And definitely want to leave that one open. Here's a fun little article that I saw as well. I might as well just bring it up since I just had it on the tab. So this is in Reddit. They said I bought HEX at all-time high. I bought HEX before all-time high. I bought HEX during all-time high, and I bought HEX today. You see, HEX did not stop being HEX. The Ethereum blockchain is still running, so my HEX is still the same HEX, earning me yield while I sleep. HEX is not for traders, it's for people that want to plan for the future and like their money working for them and not the other way around. Relax. Did someone just ring the doorbell? Who rang the doorbell? Someone just rang the doorbell? Yeah, I heard the doorbell ring. I heard the sound of a doorbell. Oh, yep.
He's here.
Oh my goodness, that was so funny. The pest guy just came by. Oh my goodness, today's just a busy day for me streaming. It's been wild. My bad. Yeah, so let me just see. Relax. Truth be told, I'm not even worried one bit. If you didn't expect to go through multiple bear markets when you staked, then you're a fool. If you thought HEX was just going to pump every day for the rest of your life, then you're a fool. If you didn't listen to RH and read the HEX site telling you that dips are in the game, then you're a fool. HEX is still HEX. The contract is still working flawlessly and has not stopped working once. Don't be fooled by FUD. Immutable, trustless yield. That's what you have. Everyone else went bankrupt. Remember. So I wanted to share that with everyone too, because I feel like that is what people are missing on this one. They are realizing that they're trying to let this FUD happen. They're trying to let all these items come through. But HEX is still HEX, guys. If you were buying HEX when it was 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents, like, HEX is still HEX. So, like, if you lost faith in it because it went down, like, that's a question that I commonly ask, you know? And so that's where I started diving back into some of these wallets. Like, do these people even stake? You know what I mean? Let's actually modify this, because I want to adjust it to where we'll do 1 million, right? Let's just do 1 million here and see who's really selling down the price, because the people doing 100,000 HEX aren't really hurting the HEX price or anything like that, in my opinion. Hex Coiner says relax is king. Like, guys, that's what you have to realize. Relaxing is what you get when you get to stake. But you have to set yourself up in a certain way that these moments in time don't get you down, because like there is going to be FUD happening. There is, like, we're in this game for 15 years for some of us, you know what I mean? If you have your HEX staked going out for 3 years, 5 years, however long it is, this little moment in time should not deter you. You should be able to just sit back and say, it's cool. I'm just going to wait. My HEX stake isn't ending anytime soon. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. Because you've already had it. It's paying you trustless yield. And guess what? During the whole time while you're waiting, you get to earn more trustless yield. You know what I mean? Like, yes, that is freaking amazing. We got Hex Huddle in the house saying again, FTX investors wish they had Hex instead. They wouldn't have believed it, you know. And like for those folks who came, guys, learning crypto and learning how true DeFi works is weird, and it's like this moment in time that you have to have an eye-opening moment yourself. So fortunately for me, it happened before those moments in time, like learning lessons happen, like BlockFi, Voyager, Celsius, and FTX all collapsing. I was out of that game long before them. For those folks who just were in that at this point in time, yes, it sucks for them, but that is a learning lesson. You know what I mean? Now going forward, if should they choose to get back into crypto, they're probably going to be looking for better assets, right? Make sure you're choosing quality over quantity. Don't just go for the 50 new coins that are coming out right now. Don't try to play this market. Like Deck Screener has this thing. Like, check this out. I can click this little thing here and it'll tell me like all these trending tokens, and then I can see the liquidity and I can see all this stuff, and it's down and it's doing this, and I can buy into all these things. But Zen is out there. Anyways, that's funny for me. So you have all these tokens, all these networks, everything happening on all of them, right? And then you're like, oh my gosh, I need to get in. I want to get into the next one. Like, I don't want to be in that game anymore, folks. And I'm so glad I don't have to worry about that game anymore for myself, right? So like that is what it really comes down to. When you're staked, it's like another lesson learned. You know what I mean? You learn about delayed gratification. You learn about the benefits of it. But the hard part of it, in all reality, is like, who here held a stock for, 5 years before, right? And so for myself, it was something I was already doing. So it made sense to be able to hold a crypto that earns yield for 5 years. But for other folks who are like, I've never held a crypto, or I've never held a stock for longer than a year, or I've done day trading once I reach $20,000 here in the US. And you do all these nonsensical things, and then you end up losing money, you end up making money, but it's this world that you hate. And you're like, while you could get some good returns, it's not going to be forever. And so to live that lifestyle, it's a learning lesson. And so yes, FTX investors wish they had Hex for sure. But had they had it, they probably would have just sold it anyways on this rally down, because like those folks weren't expecting 90-95% dips. Like, that's something you have to be ready for and learn about before you can just start doing that. You know what I mean? So here we go. Belly flop. Let's see. I appreciate everyone tuning in, folks. Leave a like, leave a comment in the chat below, and let's enjoy each other's company. Honestly, crypto is just a way to embezzle money. Well, some folks use it for that purpose, right? But the US dollar is by far way more used for embezzling money. So if you want to talk about embezzling money, like the natural fiat currency that we use is used more in drugs and terrorism than crypto. That's just facts. Thanks, man. I appreciate your channel. Chad, I appreciate you. I appreciate you commenting. I appreciate you leaving a little like, I imagine, on the video. I appreciate anyone who's new to the channel, who became a subscriber just recently. Thank you so much. I'm just pushing the 420 subscriber mark. So 420, let's go. I appreciate you as well. We're many ways, many years away from crypto being a main currency. Yeah, you don't want crypto to be a main currency in all reality, because then it's used to sell, right? What is, like, when someone, like a company, for example, when they accept Bitcoin and they accept Ethereum and they accept crypto, they're just converting it straight back into dollars at that time. So you actually don't want companies to become involved. You don't want these huge, large institutions to become involved, because for the most part, they're all in it to collect it back into fiat. They've already got the millions in that regard. They just want to allow there to be more business, and so they accept the crypto. But guess what? When that crypto gets there, they're not holding it, they're selling it. So yeah, that's just more selling pressure. You don't want it as a main currency, to answer the question. At belly flop, that's quite a pleb of an assessment there, buddy, to be honest. Yeah, and that's what, that's what I'm saying right here, right? Well, that's what's great thing about life. We're all allowed to believe what we want. Facts. Facts. That's why I'm sharing the. So I'm sharing the comments as well, Belly Flop. You know, just the fact that you're even in here, commenting, enjoying the stream. You know, whether it be you believe it, what I'm saying, huh? God dang, dude. I'm on fucking edge right now because of the dog's attack earlier. I'm like thinking my wife's talking to me constantly and like shouting for me to come over. Oh my goodness, man. All right. So, FTX and CEXs, or centralized exchanges, are not crypto and only necessary for fiat onboarding, but have overstepped their boundaries. And guess what? Nowadays, you can actually just go straight to Uniswap and buy it right on Uniswap. It is quite incredible, and you can actually just buy it using debit card or credit card. Now, some credit card companies aren't going to allow you to, but that's up to you to figure out how to get that done. Hexodl says, at Bellyflop, sure, there are those in January 2020 calling Hex a scam. Missed out on a 10,000X. I wasn't a part of the 10,000X. It's like it's life. Sometimes the hammer, sometimes the nail. And it doesn't always have to be, it doesn't always have to be a hammer or a nail. Like, we look at it from this, you know, single perspective of how our lens of life, we'll call it, right? We look at it through our own lens of life. You've been affected through certain things and you've had certain outcomes. Other people have had affected in certain things and had certain outcomes. But to only use it as like a hammer and nail reference when it could actually be needing a wrench, or it could be needing a socket, or it could be needing a gentle caress of oil, or whatever the case would be, it's no longer just the freaking hammer and nail mentality, right? Like, there are so many other tools that are available to us, and the world is full of opportunities, whether you get into real estate or whether you get into stocks or whether you get into crypto. Crypto is just the highest appreciating asset out of all of them. Nothing else can compare to the gains that you can get from crypto. Now, that also means there's going to be plenty of folks who are out there trying to get your money and take away your hard-earned dollars and just take it for themselves. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of the game. When you inject a new system and a new item involved, then it's up to everyone to start learning how to take their own personal responsibility. And that's why self-custodial wallets are so important. But that's why so many people don't want to do it, because it means you have to take responsibility for your own actions. If you connect to a website that gets you hacked, that's up to you, man. There's no customer service who gets to backtrack and help you and say, I made a mistake, or call your bank and say, hey, was this transaction you? I see there was a $5,000 purchase over in Nigeria. And you're like, I've been to Nigeria before ever. Well, that's something you don't get in fucking crypto. That's gone. You don't have that. You don't have that choice, right? Rinse and repeat. Bang bang, vets in crypto. What is good, my dude? I appreciate you tuning in. Like he said, like, subscribe, and share. Guys, simple as that. Like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment below if you actually appreciate the comment and all the enjoyment as well with everything happening. I'm just gonna read through chat and then we'll we'll just get back to the charts, because this is a fascinating item over here. Hex is like a perfect, flawless, and trustless dividend stock, and a cheap one at that. Yeah, but again, like, if you say dividend stock, like, people don't even understand what that means. And even then, there's certain dividend stocks that charge you money. Oh goodness, God, I'm telling you, I'm on fucking edge right now, man. I'm hearing my wife's just in a high pitched voice, and I'm like, fucking, oh my goodness. Yeah, so like dividend stocks, like, people don't understand that. It's a great way to do it. Like, people have this mentality of 4% per year. That's the retirement number, right? What can you live on out of all of your investments that you can pay yourself 4% per year? And that's how you can retire. That's a way of people of doing math. I've heard that time and time again. I've heard other people where they're just like cash out and live on what you have. Right, but then your money's no longer working for you. You don't have anything else going for it, which is why typically people look to inject their money into other items. So if you believe in crypto and you believe in real estate, then maybe you're taking some sales from crypto. You're not going to get the gains that you once had going into real estate, but you're going to be able to start earning some additional passive income from different sources. And so using what we have in front of us that's available, it doesn't have to be all in one thing, right? There's so many different opportunities right in front of us that we just have to make sure that you're taking the right steps to go for quality over quantity, right? If you have your feet dipped in every single water pool possible, but you won't ever actually jump into the water, then you're never really going to figure out if it's something that you can withstand or if it's something you can tolerate. So many times when you jump in, it's you get that shock. You have that moment in time where you get shocked. You know what I mean? It's that little like whatever, and then it's cold, whatever. But then like 5 minutes later, your body starts acclimating to the weather and to the water. And that could happen with any market that you go into. We always have a fear of going into something that we don't know. Guys, that is natural human behavior. And you have to be in that mindset, right? I just read the comments a little bit further down below and that shit's funny. I'm gonna show it real quick and then I'll get back to vets. It says, I'm so broke right now. Fuck my life. You're probably broke because of everything happening, man. Like, one, the prices are going crazy. Two, you've probably been buying up the dip every single chance you can. I don't know if that's the case, but it's one of those, like, when you look back a year from now or 2 years or 5 years from now, you're like, man, eating that ramen was fucking worth it back then. You know what I mean? Like, pinching them pennies and not going out at night or hanging out with my friends so we can all get drunk at a bar and spend freaking $200, $300, $500 in a night, doing silly shit. Then it's just those moments in time. So we got Vets in Crypto saying that's why we are early adopters. We are. Oh, don't worry, BlackRock and other institutionals investors are coming and have arrived in Bitcoin. Yeah, no, they've definitely shown themselves, and they've shown that they don't know what they're talking about either, right? Like, they've shown that they're getting into an asset that they don't fully understand, and they're trying to dip their feet in the water by messing with Bitcoin. Like, Bitcoin is the first, and I'm not saying Bitcoin's bad by any means. Like, crypto is going to have a highest, it said this to be true. Crypto is the highest appreciating asset. So even in Bitcoin, at 16,000, if it goes up to 100,000 by the next bull run, for example, that's still a good 5x on your money. And that's probably going to be within 2-3 years. So, like, where else are you going to be able to get a good 5x on your money within that short period of time? That is a very short period of time for investors, folks. Most of the time you have to have years that you have to look into and wait and wait for the return to come through. I was a part of a company where you were given these incentivized shares of the company that if you lasted for 3 years, you would then be able to cash out 50% of it. And it was this moment that you're like, I have to wait 3 years? Like, but you don't even, it doesn't even seem that bad. It seems like such an investment that you're like, oh my God, I'm getting free shares. Yeah, I have to wait 3 years. Who cares? We got Bluff City Break saying, LOL, institutional investors are the ones who wrecked crypto, but people kept begging for them to enter. Yeah, and that's why everyone thought this time was going to be different. You know what I mean? Everyone thought that whole phrase became a thing. This time's different. This time's different. Because now the institutional investors are here. And, there's no way it's going to be able to dip like it once did. I'll just go up to 100 million. I don't think anyone's fucking selling 100 million, but yeah, you have so many folks who were doing that back then, right? And so institutional investors, definitely, for sure. For real, like, damn, I can't pay this Airbnb last night, left here, about to be homeless for New Year's, shake my head. My guy, Unimax, here's the thing. And I'll be real with you on this one, guys. I was homeless at one point in time myself. I was homeless. I didn't have a place to go. It was for a few months of time in my life. I got into some trouble. And fortunately for me, I was able to join the Marine Corps at that time. And I just shaped my life up to a different perspective. And it just led me down a different path. But I know that that moment in time was just merely a chapter of life. And I hope you look at it from that way too. Like, this is merely a chapter in what we call the book of life. And so the moment that you are homeless, it does suck. It is painful. I wish you the best and know that there is good in the world. So reaching out to people, even just, people on the streets, churches, stuff like that. There are moments in time where people's hearts are truly blessed. And, I'd even say in the HEX community as well, half the time they're willing to, open the door for you at least, or get a meal for you or something like that. So keep your head up, man. I know it's a lot. I know it's definitely plenty to go through. Don't do something stupid that you're going to regret or make others feel sad. And that's just something that I can say there. I have a decent amount of HEX staked, but too far out my stakes are. And that's a good thing. Like I said, dude, and hoorah, vets, hoorah. Yeah, so So, and that's what I'm saying. Like in this regard, while you have a decent amount, like just keep that in mind. Always have a reason to go forward in the future, right? Don't look at it in this simple little moment in time where you're going to be going through a little rough patch. And trust me, everyone's got their unique story. But the best part is the success that when you get there is so much better because of the hardships that you went through right now. And so, you know, when we look back 3 years, 5 years from now, and you're in a much better situation, and we're in a much better situation, and Pulse is launched, and all these things have happened, we're gonna look back at this moment in time, and people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you were so early," and you know, you get to share the story. And the story is a powerful thing, man. The story is by far a powerful item that you can discuss. You know, whenever you're talking to people about getting into Hex, like, look, man, you know, I put it all in. You know what I mean? I truly did. I believed in the product. I believed in it. So Unimax, we're here with you, brother. Just know that, again, cash poor, man. Money can always be made up. I feel you on that one. You know, maybe reach out to just do some community service. Like if you're doing it for nothing else other than just to help other people, reach out to them. I would say get a membership at a gym and use their showers. You know what I mean? Like these are things that I was doing back in the day to keep my head on a straight swivel because it's tough, man. And so I had a membership at a gym that I would go shower at. I did a little community service stuff that I would help out with other folks just to get my mind off what I was going through myself. And if you can go through and do the same thing, I hope that helps. I really do. So hoorah on that one, man. Simplify, and I really do hope the best for you. You know what I mean? Like, know that the struggle is just another chapter in your story, in your book of life, man. And so I can't wait to see how the ending goes. Just don't let it be something stupid. So, yeah, 100% Hex, Hex rich, but 100% staked. I knew there was a reason why I vibe with you, Devil Dog. Simplify. Bets in crypto, hoorah, my friend. Simplify. Ben, these prices, how can you not DCA? My average keeps getting lower. Keep up the good work. Much appreciated. Thank you, Ben. Hey, Vets in Crypto, Hex Huddle says, at Dev, just set some hopeful limit orders and they may just fill. Facts. Yeah, like, and so, okay, I didn't actually see that question. How low do you see Hex going from here? Thank you for keeping it real. That's crazy that I just somehow missed that question completely, but I discussed this just a little bit earlier. I'll go back and show it again. But here's kind of what I think is going to be happening with the Hex price. So this was a little chart that I had drawn up, and it just kind of shows everything happening. Right now it goes with the 9 EMA and 15, and I just don't see them doing anything crazy anytime soon. We've already broken below this trend line. So what I do see happening, just like we had happen here, we'll see a rally up again, and then we'll probably see some selling pressure down. We'll see a rally up again. We'll see some selling pressure down. I think we're going to go through and experience a similar situation where we're probably going to see a rally up again, may go back up to this 2.5 cent region, and then we're probably going to see it sell back down. I do see the range staying at least until launch of Pulse Chain, man. But as long as we're on this downward trajectory, this goes all the way out to March, by the way. So it would put us back in this 1.9 to 1.4 cent region. So I see us going up and then coming back down. And so don't get caught up trying to buy it whenever it's rallying back up. Now, if you buy at 2.5, like, fuck, dude, that's nothing. You know what I mean? Because if you go up and it goes up to again, 50 cents or 5 cents, for example, you've doubled your money. And if it goes up to $1, then you've quadrupled your money. You know what I mean? And so not even $1, I meant 10 cents. If it goes up to 10 cents, then you've quadrupled your money at that point in time. So, like, I don't see these as bad opportunities by any means. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but the amount of negativity that we have happening in the community leads me to believe we're probably pretty freaking close to the bottom, folks. But until the launch of Pulse Chain, I can never announce the bottom of Hex because Hex is now so correlated to it that we just can't. So what I see happening, to answer your question at Dev, is I see us going back up again, and I see us coming back down to the 1.9 to 1.4 cent region. If we break below 1.5 or 1.4 cents right here, guys, there's no support anywhere in this whole region. That's why I had this line drawn for so long. but we're going to end up going back down to 1.3 to 1 cent. And if we fall below 1 cent, we don't really have any support, guys. This is the chart of HEX, and it happens quickly because the price of HEX moved fast. And so this is kind of support and resistance that we had back then, but not really that much either. I'm going to go back and kind of draw this out a little bit further. It looks like it would be more closer to the 0.008 region as we had support resistance at this point in time, but I'm going to be hopeful and say we're at least going to stay above 1 penny. But that's just looking at what we have in front of us at this moment in time. You know what I mean? Because look at all the sells happening right now. These are sells of over 1 million HEX. Now we have some buys occasionally, but for the most part, there are more sellers over 1 million HEX than buyers, okay? So if I pull these up and I see what the transactions look like, well, let's take a look, okay? So this person was 2.5 million that they sold. So if I see what they sold it at, do they even hold liquid HEX anymore? The answer is no. They don't even hold liquid HEX. So they're literally cashing out their HEX and sending it to a swap and then cashing out USDC. We can see that all happen in here, right? And then if I see it from here, looks like they at one point in time staked HEX for possibly what, 9 days, 13 days, but then they sold it all and they collected 20,000 additional HEX and they sold it. And it seems like they keep doing this. So this person in the beginning was doing this over and over again. This is 418 days ago. Well, let's see what they're doing. Let's take a little gander. Why not, right? That's what we're here doing today. Whoops, I'm not even sharing the tab. My bad, everyone. That's my fault. So yeah, Dev, to answer that question, that's what I see happening. Try the dev orders, nice trading view chart. Yeah. What's good? Can't say it enough. DCA is the way. Yeah, now that DCA is definitely the way. Facts. Like, and then another thing you can do is limit orders, guys. Like, limit orders are something that I learned this year, and it was absolutely incredible. How's the gas calculated when putting in limit orders? Well, it actually calculates at the time you do it. You basically pay a small little fee, but whenever the actual swap happens, it doesn't pay the limit order on it. Just to answer the question, you do have to have the tokens for it to do the swap, though. And so that's why limit orders are definitely the way to go. And you also don't pay slippage, and there's a whole other slew of reasons why limit orders are so much better. And it all takes, let me see here. Vets in Crypto says, and all it takes is a whale to nuke any TA. Facts. Like, J-Man in the house. ATX, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Just having a fun day, man. Just enjoying these charts. Just checking everything out. Looking into who's selling, who's doing what. These little freakers over here are, you know, selling HEX and dumping at this price. But, you know, I see this as a little moment in time that's like, okay, well, did they even stake in the beginning? Are these people... Just laying that last little bit of coffee. Are these people who were even staked in the first place? You know what I mean? Do they even believe in it for whatever reason? Right? And so, yeah, like for Vets in Crypto says it best. Like, TA is only as good as it really is. Anything can happen at any point in time. Whenever I pulled up these charts and stuff right here, it can easily fucking flip where the God Whale decides he wants to get back in again and put in an order for, you know, $1 million, and then the fucking price just goes do and it hits 5 cents. And then someone else is like, I'll put in another million, and then it goes do and it hits 10 cents. You know what I mean? It can happen very, very fast. But the reason why I say I just look at this, because guys, this is all we have. All we have is what's in front of us, right? And yeah, so far there's been, let me actually move this down now. It's already it. Yeah, so there's been a 97% dip in HEX. Is what it is. Is what it is. But yeah, with the answer to the question, yeah, a whale can easily do whatever they want real fast, okay? And if they come in and they decide to do something that TA will never predict because you don't know what they're gonna do, they could have a life event happen. They could have they could get hacked, for example. Any scenario can happen where something crazy can go down. And so this is just kind of planning ahead for myself that, like, okay, if the price ends up hitting here, what's going to be my reaction? Well, now that I've already kind of planned in my head that I'm going to see the price hit between 1.4 to 1.9 cents, I'm also not as shocked whenever I see it hit 1.7, 1.5. I see this as the opportunity where I'm like, yep, my limit order just got filled. Cha-ching, ka-ching, right? Like every single time it goes lower and I have these limit orders in place, I'm fucking pumped that the price went lower. You know what I mean? I'm stoked that the price went lower because I was able to capture more HEX. Now, do I want the price to go back up and start seeing my bank show more than what it's showing now? For sure, right? Like, I'm not gonna be sad whenever I start seeing the hundreds of thousands that there once was, you know? And so like it's a learning lesson for myself and for y'all. So yeah, doing good, man. Doing good, Jay, man. I appreciate you coming in, tuning in, joining the chat. Let's see how many likes. Yep, we got 24 likes happening already. So let's get this up to 30 likes. If you are in here and you have not clicked the like button, what are you doing? Just go ahead and click like. It only takes a couple seconds. And fuck, if you're not even subscribed, you might as well click that button too. Because why not? It's enjoyable. I do a daily stream and you get to come in here and have fun and listen and learn. We just having fun over here. Bets in Crypto says over a billion in HEX stakes ending as well. Perfect storm. We have the Pulse chain saying I've been able to buy on matcha.xyz, but never able to sell. Any reason why? You have to convert it back. That's a simple little thing. You don't, like, you can't buy. How do you buy on matcha.xyz? I don't understand. You can swap on matcha.xyz, but you can't, I don't think you can buy. Oh, you can buy crypto with credit card or debit card. Well, there you go. So they have an on-ramping ability to do it. I haven't done it this way, but it looks like they're also using MoonPay, which is the same thing that Uniswap is now using to on-ramp. There is no off-ramp into the fiat at this moment in time. But what you can do is you can still do the same thing where you swap what you want, and you can swap and just swap the, you know, HEX in this example for USDC, and then you just send the USDC to your fiat off ramp of your choice. But they are getting to the ability where we are going to be able to start buying and on ramping and off ramping on decentralized exchanges. And I personally can't wait for that to happen because it's coming soon, folks. It's here in the near future. It's here in the very near future, as a matter of fact. You know what I mean? So I'm just waiting for those moments in time too. But yeah, as of right now, there is no ability to off ramp in that moment in time. Okay. So what did this person do? Okay, so who do we got? What? Let me raise this up. Let's go 10 million. I want that to be the bottom. And all right, so who is selling over 10 million HEX? It looks like you got the people adding, removing. Anyone selling over 10 million? Yep, we got a sell of 31 million here. Let's see what this wallet's doing. This is a big dog selling, you know, 30 million HEX, and it looks like they've already cashed out and converted it as well using the CalSwap protocol from what it looks like. And well, let me go back over here. This was the wallet that had it right here. Oh, okay, that's just doing the swap. Okay, cool. So never mind. That's not anything big there, because that's just someone doing a swap using the protocol. Let's see if I can find this address right here. All right, is this another freaking swap protocol? MEVOT. Hey, do y'all know what this is? And maybe y'all can share this with me. Do y'all know what MEV bot is? I personally don't. Maybe I can click it and find out. MEV bot is a contract. What does it do? Does it just swap coins for you too? Sushi swap, Uniswap, Sushi Uni. So MEV bot, it looks like it just swaps coins. Okay, so if that's the case, and maybe you got this correct, or maybe I got it incorrect. Tin Top in the house. What is up, Hexicans? Hexicans. Yeah, what's going on, folks? Tin Top says. At ATX Crypto, dang, I didn't know you were homeless. We've got some tough people in this community. Man, facts, dude. Like, there was one point in time where I was. You got to understand, that was my younger days, you know what I mean? But, like, we all got our stories. You've got your stories to share, too. White dude with glasses, you know what I mean? Like, and that's one of those moments in time that when you reach the success stories and you hear the success stories, it always sounds like everything was all so easy. But it's something that a lot of folks had to go through a lot of tough shit in order to be able to get to where they're at. I mean, fuck, Rackham Rishel, you know, the God whale, the guy who was the Genesis Eats supporter and was able to get in at that point in time. He was homeless at some point, you know, praying behind the church and getting all that. So, like, these are just moments in time where, like, you hear the success and you're multi-billionaire now, but it wasn't always like that, right? You weren't born into it. We aren't given something. But I'm going to make sure that my kids aren't going to hopefully be in the same position and end up in the same predicament I did, you know? Vets in Crypto says, what's up? Saying hi to Ten Top. And then Ten Top replying back saying, what's up to Vets in Crypto? Ten Top says, I will FOMO in at 0.19, but I still have limit orders on CalSwap at 0.138. Facts, and we're already there. We're actually already we're already below 0.19 by the way, my friend. The current hex price is sitting at 0.184. So it looks like you're FOMOing in, my friend. Oh, Vets in Crypto says you will hit it, Ten Top. Going down 97% means we go up most again shortly. Hex Coiner. Yeah, so the way it works is we're going to have a lot more resistance on the way back up again. It's always easier to come down in terms of price, you know what I mean? Because, like, all it takes is people selling and then FUD happen. But in order to start believing, guys, this rally back up is going to be weird because you're going to think it's going to do this rally up and you're going to think it's going to fall again like it's been doing, but it's going to rally up and then it's just going to, like, maybe capitulate for a fucking little bit and then it'll just go whatcha, and then it'll just skyrocket. What's up?
That's Charles.
Oh, did he say something?
Mom told him.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. So let's see. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Thanks for letting me know. So we got Ten Top saying they sell limit orders, needs to pass your price far enough for it to be profitable for our bots. MEV bots front run your buys and sells for max extracted value or MEV. They sandwich your trades and you get worse price. Use Flashbots RPC. Awesome. Cool. And see, and that's what, you know, this, like, that's me learning right there, folks. So it looks like all the 10 millions are going to be freaking bots, it seems. Let me see if I can go back and find one that's not. Because I may just have to, because that's another, like, our bot here. And you can see, yeah, it looks like these were limit orders that were, you know, put in place, removed, put back in place. Sells. Let's see this wallet here. Okay, here's one wallet that that is not a bot that it looks like. So they sold. Yep, they're holding. Look at this, guys. Assume this person decides to ever come back in, and they're like, you know what? I'm holding right now, but whenever the price goes back up again, I'm doing whatever. Or right before I hear launch of Pulse Chain happening, I'm doing whatever, right? And I see whenever I see someone sitting on $729,000 and not doing anything with it, like purchasing more of their favorite asset or whatever, it typically means they're waiting for something. So I try to understand that a little bit more. I want to understand really what's going on, how they get to where they're getting to. It looks like for the most part, they ended their stakes, they're claiming their Hedron, and then they're selling their Hedron and selling their HEX and converting it into USDC. And they continue to do this, right? And they sell their HEX for USDC, getting 10 million here. And then again, doing the same thing, selling their HEX for USDC. And now they're sitting on $720,000, okay? So do they have any more stakes? Well, that's always the next question that I like to ask. So I go over here to this hexfire.io website and I try to see what stakes they have open. You know what I mean? I try to see if they have any stakes open at this time. and it doesn't seem like it. So I try to look at stakehex.today to see if maybe they are on this one. And it doesn't look like it. Look at that. They've sold all their hex. They are no longer sitting on hex. They no longer have any T-shares. And this is what kind of like I don't understand from this perspective what's going through their head. And I try to understand it from like a steelman point of view, as Lex Friedman will talk about. Like, do they think that there's more fear? Do they lose faith in the whole staking mechanism and mechanic? At one point in time, they had 3,300 T-shares, and then they don't have any more stakes in place, and they've sold it all for USDC. It really confuses me whenever I see something like this, because I can't quite wrap my head around how you can go from having stakes and having 33 T-shares to even being able to capitalize on that whole opportunity. But this is what I'm saying. Like, some folks do this and they say, I can live on $729,000. This could be a person who might just say, you know what? This is good enough for me to live my life for the next 10, 15, 20 years, right? Maybe they're only making $30,000 a year, for example. And so this could last them 20 years if they just held at USDC and just did $30,000 a year. That would last them for 23 years. I mean, you know what I mean? And so that's just an example of something possibly happening. I can't say that for sure, but whenever I see someone go from having the hacks to having nothing, it usually means that they've cashed out. They think they've won. That would mean they can last on this one at $30,000 a year for 24 years. And maybe they don't even want to wait for 24 years, but they're waiting for the next new object, which could possibly be Pulse Chain or PulseX. In fact, let me see if they did sacrifice for Pulse Chain. Let me pull up my Google Sheets real quick, because this is something that Pulse Chain sacrifice leaderboard. All right. And this is a little leaderboard thing that I went through and, you know, basically put together. I started looking at some wallets and seeing if they were doing it. Whenever I do a search on this particular wallet, though, it doesn't seem like there's anything popping up, and it's going through all 40,000 at this point in time, but it doesn't look like there's going to be anything at this time. Yeah, so there were 670 million sacrificed during that time. And yeah, it doesn't look like they sacrificed for Pulse Chain. So my guess is they've cashed out their hex. They're either thinking they can live on it forever now, and that's just going to be what they do, or they're waiting for the next new object. I don't know, right? But like this kind of stuff fascinates me, because they literally had something that was doing exactly what it said it would do, paying them trustless yield, and now they have given that up. That's wild, right? Facts. To be fair, Tentop has a point. That could just be one of their wallets. To be fair, that's correct. I think that's possible. I think that could just be one of the wallets. Usually, when you have someone staked like that, they typically have more than one wallet. But let's see if I can find out. Fuck it, might as well. Let's see if we can find other wallets that maybe they sent some money in. Okay, so here's something where they transferred some money in. What is the address on this one? AFC. And so I can come down here and say this wallet, and looks like they have Pulse Dogecoin, HEX, and USDC. And okay, well, let's take a look over here and see if they have this staked. Okay, Tentop, I see you. I see you. Check you out. And I forgot that could be a perspective that could be possible. But clearly they still have 6 stakes open. They're sitting on 1,500 T-shares. And yeah, it looks like they still are waiting to capitalize on those. So let's see if I go back to this page, it'll give me a better idea of what those stakes look like as well. So I can come back over here and I can see that they have an average of 9 years for those stakes, sitting on 349 T-shares, showing that they still have plenty of HEX staked, 1.4 million. They've made 9 stakes in total, or I'm sorry, they've made 12 in total, and they've ended 9 already. So they still have 3 open at this time. And for the 3 that are open, they're still sitting pretty nice in terms of the payout. Their next one isn't ending until 2023 in January, then 2030, and then 2037. So they have other wallets that they have capitalized on, and maybe they cashed out that one and said, I have this one. That is a perfect point. Thank you so much for... Tin Top says, I wish I had that kind of dry powder waiting for Pulse Chain. I think we all do, Tin Top. I wouldn't have that kind of dry powder, so let's be real. I would have bought some more HEX at this point in time. Like, there's just no chance I'd be sitting on almost $750,000 just in stable coins without me holding more HEX and buying some more at this point in time. Like, you lost your damn mind if you think that's the case. So yeah. Dang, you know, great point. You definitely proved that one, and that was proven pretty fast. They do have another wallet that they have staked right now, and so they probably aren't too worried with the cashing out on this wallet. So kudos to them. Who else we got? We have this sell order here, 967. That's like an MEV bot, so I can just close. We have another sell order here, 66. Nope, nothing there. Is that right? Give me 1 second. Let me check something out, because now I'm curious to see if make sure I have a good understanding. Here we go. Yeah, of course not. Okay, cool. So okay, nothing there. Almost 500,000 on this one. Looks like this is a wallet, so I'm going to share this screen and copy this wallet address. It looks like they did sell their HEX. They also converted it into USDC. Man, I'm like, do they know something that we don't know, fam? Like, what's going on? We got $225,000 sitting in USDC. We have them selling their HEX and converting it into USDC. And they were staked because they came from a burn address here, and then they minted the HEX into existence. And so really the next question that comes up is, what do their stakes look like? And so if I pull it up over here on this tab, did they also sell all of their HEX? Because they... Well, this is another person who did the same thing. I'm very curious as to what's going on, and I'm assuming they probably have another wallet, right? I'm assuming they probably have something. But, you know, in this moment in time, that's a funny number, 225, 225. Interesting. Wonder if that was on purpose or if just happenstance. Okay, so they're sending USDC to another wallet. Well, let's fucking find out what that other wallet is doing. Because with this wallet, they have sold all of their stakes. They no longer have any HEX stakes associated with this wallet right here. And maybe they are doing this because they think that this wallet was too public for people and they don't want their information getting out. That's happened. I've seen that a few times where you have some influencers who have, you know, ended their stakes that they had with one wallet because it was shown all across the board, and they have it moved over into a different wallet when their stakes are ending. And so, like, let's just take a look and a gander as to what's happening, because they at one point in time sent this amount of money here, and this is probably their cash out wallet, but they're sitting on $280,000 over here. So they got 225 in one wallet, 280 in this wallet, but they don't have any HEX liquid in either one. But if I pull up their stakehex.today website and take a look to see if they have any stakes available at this time. Okay, they did not open anything. And let's see if I can do this one. Interesting, yeah. No, doesn't look like they have any stakes there either. So I don't. Again, these folks may know something. I don't know. Maybe they're just scared, and maybe they're just sitting here and just waiting for the end of the bear market to happen, or launch a pulse chain, or maybe they have even more wallets that, again, I haven't even found, because the further down the rabbit hole you dive, the less likely it is that same person. And so I found that when you start kind of connecting one or two wallets at most, we can kind of assume that's the same person. When you start getting down the rabbit hole of this getting sent here and that getting sent there and this getting sent here and that getting sent there, you have a very tough time assuming that that's still the same person, because most cases it's no longer that person anymore, you know? And so usually what I like to say is, like, when you reach that kind of like 2 threshold, like this wallet, maybe into another wallet, maybe, but we can see that they've never staked HEX on this one. Because again, you can see it goes to a burn address whenever it gets staked, and this one has never been sent to a burn address. So they have HEX, they sold HEX, right? that's as simple as it is. Why they decide to sell at these prices, I will never know. 24 days ago, they sold 50,000 HEX. Yeah, and then they moved the 283,000 over from the previous wallet to A1. Yeah, that's here. Interesting. Okay, cool. Well, that's another one down the drain that, you know, they are sitting pretty heavy in terms of liquid USD. C. But that's what, so guys, like, look at this, folks. Like, we have, I'm going to go to this website here, which is lookintohex.com. And you can go to the liquidity section. Oops. Is it going to load, or, oh, it's updated in progress. Damn. Okay, well, I guess I'm not going to go there. But they had the ability where you would actually show what the limit order would be, or not the limit order. It would show liquidity. So if you put in $1 million, which we have 1.2 million sitting in those 3 wallets alone, 1.2 million sitting in 3 million. Tax loss harvesting, that was another freaking reason. Absolutely, yes. Tax loss harvesting could 100% be the reason. People could just be waiting to, you know, take the L and just say, here it is, I took the L, I'm tax loss harvesting this, and then they can, you know, go forward for the next many years depending upon how much they harvest. So yeah, that is 100% another possibility as well. Unimax says, I have $2 to my name and under 5 of ETH and decent HEX staked, and I'm all sacked, PulseX, but so broke as of right now, or so broke as fuck right now, it's scary. Yeah, but again, like, and I've said this too, right? Money can definitely always be made, and it may seem like it's always difficult in reality, but like, if you just start doing random shit, you'll realize that people will do it. So like, if you have a buddy who has a fucking weed whacker or a pressure washer, you just go start spraying some driveways. Or if you have, I don't really know, like, there's just so many things. I've seen people literally go and buy things from Costco, and then they go and sell those same things for profit, like right outside the market. Not Costco, but like other supermarkets, right? Other shopping districts. You can go to like the little flea markets, we'll say, and you can set up a little stand outside of there where you have like this little snacks booth for fucking, you know, $3 for a can of Pringles that, you know, you paid 18 cents for or something. And I know it takes money to start making money in those instances, but in that moment in time, it just depends what your overall goal is. And again, if sometimes you can set up your ability with community service, and then sometimes what's even cool about them in that situation is you almost become this like intern almost, and then you become you stay there where you become permanent, you know. And so You'll definitely get through this, Max. As long as you keep pushing, as long as you keep fighting the good fight, you're gonna make it. We're all gonna make it, and that's the WAGMI mindset that you have to have, right? We're all gonna make it. So, Xhodl says, "Me too, bro." Yeah, I would be if I could buy everything in all hex. My wife definitely didn't let that happen. I tried. I definitely fucking tried. But I'm almost glad that she didn't let me, because this is back when hex was at 10 cents. I was like, I want to go all in on hex, baby. I want to take all the money that we have and I just want to put it all in on hex at 10 cents. And then she was like, fuck no. And so glad that didn't happen, right? Because clearly we could see the price of hex being what it is now. So, that little moment in time for myself was eye-opening for sure. Let's go to the daily. Yeah, so as long as the 9 EMA and the 15 EMA don't even come close to crossing each other. We got real close here, and that was a possibility that we were going to see a flip, but it's been nothing but a little downward perspective overall. So let's see what we got. Next, let's just kind of scroll on down. These are back in September. Okay, so yeah, we're going way far back on some of those. Let's lower this limit here to 2 million. And I'm gonna have to hop off stream soon, but I appreciate everyone who did tune in. It's always greatly appreciated. I found this website out, and I'm just gonna be looking every single time we start seeing these prices dip. Like this one right here, the 29th of December, someone sold 3,903,000 hex. Well, I want to know what that person's up to. So whenever I click on their wallet address in here, it pops up. They've also converted into fucking USDC. What is happening, guys? What am I missing right now? What's happening? All right, is this no, this is an actual wallet. I was gonna say, is this like an aggregator, but it looks like these are actual transactions. 500,000. Yeah. Okay. Let's take a little look. I'm gonna go back a few days because this person's active as fuck, right? There's no way they're active this much. Let's see. So they sold hex, they moved hex, they converted it into USDC, 15,000. They swapped, they got some more hex, 672,000. They converted that into USDC. They then swapped hex or USDC for hex. So you got 2 million hex here. This could possibly be a trader. You got 4 million hex here. Converting all the USDC back into hex. Moving hex from this wallet into this wallet. So let's open up this one here as well, because this was just a day ago and that's 4.2 million. They then sold all that. Okay, hold on. Yeah, so they're literally converting everything back in and doing back and forth. Okay, and now they're sitting on $136,000 in USDC. Impressive. Let's see if they have any stakes. And again, I don't think they will, based on what we just saw with that wallet right there, because it doesn't look like they are understanding of the whole mechanics of hex. They just see it as another token that they can trade, and they don't have any hex stakes. So you can see here, I just pulled it up on this website, number of open stakes 0. Doesn't look like they've ever staked at all either. Number of stakes ended. So they are trading, and it looks like they are trying to take as much advantage of this opportunity as possible. Let's see if I can find this wallet here. This was one that they swapped over to. Oh, and this is the actual aggregator of 1 inch, so it's not going to show anything either. Yep, nope, that's not going to give it. That's not going to give it all. So interesting. So they are simply trading, and it looks like they're coming out profitable, or I don't know what they all originally started at, and that's something I'm not going to take the time to do. It's not something I would recommend doing. The amount of stress it brings your life is unfathomable unless you've done it before. You just can't even imagine, because it brings this crazy stress level to your life that you would have no clue about before. And I don't want anyone to go through that. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. I do want to set a line here. Okay, I want to set a line at 3 cents because that's what I think we're gonna have to get to in order for us to start moving back up again. That's just my thought, though. Who knows if I'm right or wrong? You know, all I can say is I just share my insights and my information that I have in front of me. And let's look at the next person. These are all today. 2 million. Another 4 million hex sold. They are sitting in terms of nothing there. It looks like they have sold their hex and sent their USDC to a different wallet. And so if I pull up that wallet right here, it's going to show that they went out to Kraken. There you go. And so they converted it, cashed out. They cashed out, looks like what was a decent amount of hex for 123,000, and then they cashed out. So let's take a look and see if they ever staked at all on this one, because I don't believe that they did. Go, buddy. Yeah, they've never staked here on this one either. Interesting. Okay, cool. Well, I mean, shit, there's a lot happening. There's plenty of stuff happening overall, and that's something that I hope everyone can kind of learn from, right? With all the opportunities, people are cashing out, people are having fun. Hi, Brooke. Oh, no. Hi, Delta. Got the puppy in here. Get the toy. All right, and yeah, looks like I am going to be hopping off stream. So, folks, I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. It was fun and enjoyable experience as always. And as you know, I'll catch you in the next one, which is tomorrow.